Welcome to ABC 24 this week. I'm Richard Ransom. We are here once again, as we are every Sunday, to talk about the real story behind the big stories. We hope to give news of the week some context, some perspective, and here's what's on our plate for today. First up, the volatile situation surrounding the arrest and death of Tyre Nichols. Memphis police not saying much about what happened, but we do know there's a video of what happened as the city nervously waits for its release, likely tomorrow. A video Mayor Jim Strickland is already preparing the public is hard to watch. We'll also talk about the controversy surrounding the release of 8 teenagers accused of unlawful gun possession, car theft, and evading arrest, all within 2 days of that arrest. People are asking, is this the kind of criminal justice reform they voted for? Meanwhile, in Nashville, among the many bills being introduced before the recently convened General Assembly are 3 affecting our elections. One would close our primaries, another would make all local elections partisan, and the third would cancel one election day and move it to another. Before we get started today, let me introduce my panel. ABC 24 political analyst Otis Sanford is here, as is political consultant Susan Adler-Thorpe with Thorpe Communications. We have some light moments on the show, not likely to happen today, unfortunately. A very serious topic as the city is on edge. We know security is beefed up at a lot of offices downtown, some offices closing, and this is just in preparation for what we think might happen. And I think, Otis, as you look at this situation now, we record this on a Friday afternoon, and we're expecting that if there's going to be any disciplinary action against the officers who were involved in this, that might be happening later today. And then the video released next week, probably on Monday. How much of this is, what is your feeling in terms of the temperature right now, and can the worst case scenario be avoided in terms of actual riots in the streets, as they say?
Well, yeah, I mean, I am not ready to go right now to any riots in the streets. Memphis is really not a rioting city. I mean, we've had a lot of police brutality in the city over the years, and we haven't really just gone crazy over it. I don't think that's going to happen this time. But from everything I'm hearing, Richard, this is a terrible situation. And all you have to do is just look at the photograph that Mr. Nichols' stepfather took.
From the hospital.
From the
we do
hospital,
have that picture
right
here.
And it shows that Mr. Nichols was clearly beaten. And he died 3 days later. And for the police report to say that during the confrontation he complained of shortness of breath. Well, duh. I mean, you're going to have shortness of breath if you're getting beaten to a pulp. I just think that the mayor knows this is bad. The police chief knows it's bad. Other people in the community know that it's bad. And that's why they have to make some quick decisions here about firings and charges, because it seems as if it's going to amount to that.
We know the Department of Justice is also wasting no time getting involved. They have launched a civil rights investigation along with the FBI. So now we have 3 probes. We have the one that the city is doing internally within the police department. The TBI is looking into whether there might be any criminal charges involved here, and of course what the DOJ may or may not find. Do you think that the response, Susan, from these agencies has been swift enough and quick enough?
I think it's been swift, and it will be quick. I'm not so sure that the video is going to be released on Monday. It may be another day or so. I think on Monday.
They're showing it to the family's attorney
on
for sure.
Monday. So will it be immediately released to the public Monday? I have my doubts, but it could be. But I think that we just have to chill for a second and put it in context of what they're trying to do. They have this video. It's not just the TBI, it's also the FBI, and it's also the district attorney, Steve Mulroy's office. And although Mr. Mulroy says that he wants that video released, and I think he does, but he's a prosecutor. So are the FBI and the TBI. They need to finish every single interview of witnesses they can before they release that video, before anyone sees that video. Witnesses include the police officers who were there, police officers who came later, maybe somebody who happened to walk by the scene, maybe there's a business or a home in the nearby areas that have Ring doorbells or video cams. They need to look at it all, because a witness has a memory. They want to interview the witnesses from their memory, because if the witnesses see the video, memories can be altered by what they see on a video. And you want that video either to impeach their testimony or to support it. I think that these groups are trying, these legal groups are trying to be sensitive to public opinion. There's no doubt. But I think that they also have to go by the law that if there is malfeasance on the behalf of the police department, and the picture of Mr. Nichols seems to indicate there is overwhelmingly, then I think they want this to take the right legal course. And we have to be patient and wait. The problem is that we're sitting on, because of the volatility of the situation, we're sitting on literally a powder keg. And if you unleash social media and all the rumors that are going on, if people start engaging that without really stopping to think, you amplify that with the number of guns that we have on this street in this city, we really have a problem on our hands. Right now, things are pretty calm.
But that's already happening on social media. The speculation in this vacuum of information. I mean, all police has said so far is there were a couple of confrontations during a traffic stop. That's all we have. We haven't seen the police chief out there in front of the cameras. No indignation from her about what's going on with her officers that were involved in this. We have the mayor, who issued a statement. He said, I could not imagine losing a child in this manner, but we want to be transparent, we want to be fair, we want to do the right thing. Okay, good. We have DA Mulroy saying essentially the same thing. That's all fine and well, but Otis, we're 2 weeks in. Now, if I'm a parent of a young African-American kid, and I know my kid was caught on video doing something that led to somebody's death, the public would know his name by now. They would know he would be arrested probably and already locked up.
Right. I agree with everything.
And I understand we have to take precautions when law enforcement's involved. There's a lot going on there. But we're 2 weeks in.
Absolutely. And that's one of the faults I have with this whole case right now. There should be more transparency, or at least more communication to the public by somebody within the police department, maybe Chief Davis. There's a way to finesse responding to reporters' questions and the public's questions and still not jeopardize the investigations that are going on. Get out there and say some stuff. Get out there and talk about how outraged you really are about this, and not keep all of that internally so that only a few people know, and the rest of us are just speculating, and then the others are just making wild claims. That should not be happening, because we should have somebody in front of the cameras regularly talking about this case and at least giving as much information as they can without jeopardizing.
I think the void of that is not fair to the good police officers that are out there.
That's
because there are a lot of them, most of them.
That's right.
And you have this dialogue going on about how bad cops are.
Right.
I want to hear my police chief out there saying, but let's remind ourselves, most of the people who work on this force are determined law enforcers, they're honorable people, and that's not happening.
I think there is a lot of worry inside of City Hall of the effect that this situation will have on other police officers, whether they'll stay or whether they'll leave the department. It's a big worry because we're short on policemen anyway. But I think Otis makes a good point. The three of us are in the communications business.
Yeah.
We understand the value of communicating. And, I've got a gut feeling, I don't know for sure, there are a bunch of lawyers involved in this thing, and once you get lawyers and prosecutors involved, they put the kibosh on everything, and I think that could be happening, and so nobody says the wrong thing. Now, Mayor Strickland came out last week, I think it was, and said, this is tragic. He is a lawyer, but that's all he said. So that tells us, and those of us who follow this very closely, somebody said, don't talk, be careful. And there is, I think Otis is absolutely right, there should be daily some kind of information release that says what the progress is, hang in there, it's coming out soon.
We don't know the unit that they might have been involved with. I mean, there's so much that could be out there, I think.
It should be out there, even if you don't give us the names of the officers involved, and I get that. But where did they work? Did they work in this Scorpion unit that was put together back in late 2021 to battle violent street crime? I need to know that, and without giving the names. That should be. One other quick point, though, about the federal civil rights investigation. I covered federal courts for 7 years as a reporter. And there were some civil rights violations even way back then. And there have been some fairly recently. I did some research on it on Thursday. None of them ever was launched this soon after the incident. Launching this federal investigation this soon tells me that there's a serious issue of violating this man's civil rights in addition to probably murdering.
You can look at the picture of the man and say,
Exactly.
know that somebody's civil rights were violated.
Absolutely.
But, you know, and it's a very serious, heavy discussion that we're having here right now, and I don't want to lighten it too much. But I'm serious. That in the training of our police officers, there should be rule commandment number 1. You don't kill someone over a traffic violation. I don't care if they're driving recklessly. I don't care if they're running a stop sign. I don't care what it is. You don't kill someone over a traffic violation. You can't say anymore.
But as we've seen, not in Memphis, but we've seen a lot of places, that's where they happen.
That's right.
Orlando Castile and a lot of others, routine traffic stops end with somebody being shot and killed.
Well, this story has, what we say in the trade, a lot more legs to it than we're coming out with, and we hear the rumors too. But let's just hope that the city really keeps cool mind. It historically always has, and let's hope that when all the information comes out, that we all understand what happened without losing our cool about it.
Well, that will depend a lot on our leadership and how they decide to handle it, and I know they're having those conversations, and I'm with you. I hope that they make some good decisions here, and I think if we see that they're taking this seriously, the public will be comforted by that. Right. They may be outraged by what happened, but they'll be comforted to know that there are repercussions.
There's no doubt they're taking it seriously.
I believe
doubt
they are.
whatsoever.
I believe they are.
They may not be communicating with us the way we would
and they
think
are
they
not.
should.
And they are not.
But they're taking it very seriously.
Yeah, I believe they are.
All right, we're going to leave it there for now, anyway, on that conversation. When we come back, I'll pick up another topic, and that is the release of 8 teenagers while they were in custody, juveniles, all but one of them, for car theft, gun possession, and other crimes. We'll be right back.